While the BeatBot AquaSense Ultra 2 helps keep the floor clean in my pool and keep debris out of it and clean the walls and the top of the water and like that, the rest of the water filtration has to be done by something else. And that's where this one comes in. This is the Aquastrong pool pump sand filter that I've been using, half power pool pump, and it is significantly better than the pump that came with this thing. I'm gonna walk through the install process and some of the things I've been enjoying about this pump and why I think it may be a good fit for your pool. Just stick around.
Okay, let's go.
Hi, I'm Chris with Gadgets and Gravel. This pool pump from Aquastrong was sent to me for testing purposes. However, they're gonna get no input on the video's contents, my opinion of the video, or see it before you. So they're gonna see it right alongside of you. So with that out of the way, like I said, this is the Aquastrong sand filter pump. It's a half power system, and I've been using that for a couple of months, and it significantly made a difference in my pool. Like the pump that came with this pool, this sand filter is a smaller size. This is a 12-inch, but the pump itself is only rated at 0.172 or something like that. It was a real small pump, and I'd used it for about a year. This is the second year I've had this pool up. And when they reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in testing another pump, I was like, sure, considering the difference in pool, like the motor size going up to this at a half power compared to the 0.172, this is way better. It's moving a ton of water, gets great circulation. It's got a dual hose outlet, so it pulls water from the pool has two outlets, so it pulls water out of the pool from two different spots. And I have it running through this solar pool heater system here and then out into the pool. And it's so nice to see how much the water moves around, like actually swirls around and gets everything through it. So it does a great job with that. So I'm gonna jump into the install process, and then I'll talk about some of the features here and whether it's something you should put onto your pool. The Aquastrong SF PV120T pump install process is a relatively straightforward one. If you've done this before, most of these steps should be aware of, but it comes with a base that you'll install the pump onto, and during this, you moving the pump around, you can really feel how sturdy this thing is. There's not a lot of rattling going around. So I was really impressed with the build quality of this at this point. So I'm putting it together, we get it all tightened down, and it's got a slide out port here, which is where the tank base goes onto. So that part just kind of sits onto it and snaps in there, and then it's time to install the tank. So your sand filter tank goes on there, make sure that the fitting at the bottom is completely sealed up and tightened up so you don't have any problems there. So we get the sand tube in there, and this is where things start to fall off the rail for me as I messed up here. And looking at the install manual, I missed the part where it says put the sand filter cap on because I wasn't putting sand in, I was using pool filter balls. You also want to put it on when you're doing this to keep the balls from going inside of the tube because that is going to cause problems with the pump. I made that mistake, started putting the pump balls in there, and as you can see, just starting to put them in there nice and easy. And then we have a little hiccup right here. You can see, put this in there and it is right there. Yep, got one stuck in there, popped it out of there. So don't be like me. Make sure you put the sand filter cap on there, even if you're using the pool balls. So once those are put in there, I go to get the cap, put it on there, and realize this is the mistake, and I should have had that before. But anyways, back onto the install, checking this manual, looking at everything, and it's time to put the 6-way valve on there with the O-ring, get that set up, spin it around, then check the manual and realize I need to spin it around again. And once we are on there and get everything lined up, it's time to put the collar on there. This is what keeps everything together and tightens it all up. Right here, there is a screw on this back side where we're tightening up right here. And this is what keeps it all together, makes it nice and snug and keeps the pressure from blowing anything out and having any leaks on there. So with that said, it's time to start installing the port covers. So to install the hoses, Aquastrong doesn't supply the different parts you need to do 1.25 inch or 1.5 inch pool fittings. So they do provide this hose to connect the pump to the sand filter tank, but the rest of the hoses are gonna be your existing pieces. So now it's time to tape and put on the viewing window for the waste section, as well as the pressure valve, and put the remaining fittings back on. And we are attaching the hoses, a last check of the manual to make sure we didn't miss any steps again, and we're done. And this is how it all comes together. This is a great pump, relatively straightforward install. So once you've got it all installed, the system's kind of easy. I mean, it's self-maintaining, easy to use. Like you don't have to do much with it aside from turning it on when you're ready for it to run and run the backwash and rinsing setup. So with that said, like the thing I really like about this pump, aside from the fact that it's powerful and moves water really well, the old pump I had didn't have any sort of timer on it. So I'd always have to come out and turn it off and turn it on. And because it was using a GFCI plug, every time it'd lose power, then it would trip that circuit. So I couldn't even put it on a smart plug if I wanted to. So it was an annoyance. But this one has a timer built into it. So you can run it at 2-hour increments from 2 up to 24 hours. So it's really nice. You can set it, have it run for 6, 8, 12, whatever you want it to do, and it'll shut off on its own. So, sadly, but that's probably one of my favorite features of this, aside from it being a great pump. When you get it, the only hose that comes with it is this hose that connects the pump to the sand filter. Outside of that, all these other hoses are from the original pump that I had. It does come with the conversions to go from 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches, depending on your hose sizes. But they get you all the stuff you need for that. When it comes to running it, across the top, you got your different settings up here. Now, obviously, you're gonna run it on filter most of the time. But you got filter, waste, let's see, close, backwash, recirculate, and rinse. So typically I'm gonna be on filter. Waste is gonna clear out some of the junk that gets built up. They do have a waste window here, so you can actually see if you're getting a buildup in there, and then kick that out through the backwash port on this opposite side here. You've got winter, so this is gonna basically open up all the different valves within this pump, the top part here, so that if any water is in there, it doesn't freeze and cause issues in your pump. Close shuts everything down. Backwash is going to run the water through the tank here. So the tank can actually use either 50 pounds of sand or 1.5 pounds of the little filter balls. If you haven't seen those, the little puff balls that go in there instead of the sand. And that is what I'm using in this system, which Aquastrong also sent me. So you're gonna do backwash to clean that out, flush all that out. Recirculate is just gonna move the water around the pool without actually filtering it. Rinse is what you're gonna run after you backwash. Flush all that out. You'll switch it to rinse, and it's going to change the circulation inside the tank. It's going to help bring out a little bit more and last little bits of the junk that may be stuck on the balls. Shut it back into filter. You're good to go. It's a pretty simple pump to run and operate. There's not a whole lot you have to do. It does have a pressure gauge on the side, so you can make sure you stay within good pressure and make sure there's no blockages within the pump that could potentially cause issues in the system and cause it to fail. But I've had zero issues since I've been using this pump. It runs strong, never had a cut off in the middle of the day, any issues with the clogging, anything like that. So if you're interested in a pool pump, you're looking at replacing yours, want to upsize, or the pump you have just don't feel like it's cutting it, definitely check this out. Aquastrong, they have a bunch of different pool sizes, or pump sizes for different pools. This one's rated for 9,000 gallons. It can do about 2,500 gallons per hour. So depending on your pool size, you'll just adjust the pump size based on your pool size. You'll have a great experience. So if you have any questions, drop them down below. Again, sand pool pump, 12-inch sand tank here, half power motor on the pump. If you have questions up down below, anything I've been using this or like that, let me know. I'll try to help you out the best I can. Make sure you like and subscribe. Got tons of stuff coming up. I got some more, got another pool vacuum cleaner, got a robot vacuum cleaner, got a bunch more on the way. So look forward to seeing the next one. Thanks for sticking around.
Okay, let's go.